This podcast is part of the Deluxe Edition Network. To find other great shows on the network, head over to deluxeeditionnetwork.com. That's deluxeeditionnetwork.com.
Hold on, stop.
Welcome back to the Shit Show 2.0.
Okay, boomer.
Damn millennials. Wow.
Did not know that. Even flirters who are obviously mentally ill. You want to be my wife?
Oh, this is gonna go downhill real quick.
What is going on? And welcome to Take on the World with
John I.
and Mike D. And no
Jonas.
podcast therapy dog to be had because she doesn't know we have food. So we're here again. We're drinking the Natetoberfest beer.
This is a fantastic homebrew. It's getting better with every cup,
Well,
every glass.
maybe our taste buds die every glass.
Yeah. I mean, I'm used to drinking shit stuff. So,
Well, this is a 5.8%. FYI.
really?
Yes. And the IBUs are around 25.
I don't taste any, maybe the slightest hint of bitterness.
Well, IBUs are 25 IBUs is pretty low.
I forget what we were doing the whole thing. Like, some of them were like, IBUs were like
60.
but you didn't taste that. And you're like, what? So anyways, man,
it's a weird
beer.
thing.
It's good beer. Very good beer.
So Take on the World is part of the Deluxe Edition Network, and we're proud to be a part of that network. You want to go to deluxeeditionnetwork.com and check out all of the 28 different podcasts on there. There's something for everybody. If this isn't for you, there's something else there for you for sure. So check it out. And while you're there, check out the Spotlight podcasts for the month of October. And it is Horror October. So we have the Graveyard Club, who cover horror. And we have...
I love it. I love this time of year.
Terror Tuesday. Tuesday Terror. Terror Tuesday. I had
Terror
it right there
Tuesday.
first. That is an Instagram live show they do there. Also covering horror and spooks and ghouls and all kinds of good
Paranormal stuff.
and paranormal. So check them both out. And then come back here and watch some more Take on the World. And we're going to take a quick break.
Hey all you guys and ghouls, it's your ghostess with the mostest, Amber Brooke here, and I just want to tell you a little about Terror Tuesday. Well, Terror Tuesday is an Instagram live show where I talk about horror, conspiracy theories, serial killers, supernatural stuff, and so much more. And I discuss it with some super special horror-loving guests. So if you like blood, gore, spooky, scary stuff with a hint of comedy, Terror Tuesday is for you. You can tune in on my channel, amber.brook32, to catch one. Tune in, or else. Relax, I can't see, but it's just ketchup. Nope, that's blood.
Are you looking for a place for all things horror and don't know where to go?
Well, you've came to the right place, my friend. We are the Graveyard Club podcast. For all your horror needs, visit us on YouTube and Spotify, and you can follow us over on Instagram at the Graveyard Club Pod. See you there.
Ciao.
So we are back. If Johnny can stop the ASMR there. No, that's enough. No. Stop.
Oh, that's the grossest shit ever, dude. But you can't look away. It's like a train wreck.
Oh, I can't look away.
When you got like that hot Asian chick, she's got that whole spread on her table.
That's disgusting, bro. So our topic for today is, drum roll, Mount Washington.
Mount Washington. It's kind of close to home.
Not far.
No, it's within reason.
I've been there.
I have not. I'm kind of jelly.
And I know that Deb's family has been there because her dad used to have a bumper sticker, I think on the Capri, that said this car climbed Mount Washington.
Yeah.
So Mount Washington is located in the White Mountains of New Hampshire.
Which is along what trail of mountains? Or the Appalachian Mountains?
Is it an Appalachian Mountain?
I'm pretty sure. Wait, we just talked about this.
I know the Appalachian Trail goes through it. So
Well,
let's say yes. I don't know.
I don't know any. Okay. Well, anyways.
So it's well known for its
Close enough.
treacherous conditions. It has earned the reputation of the deadliest mountains in the United States.
Which you would not think.
No. You would definitely think Rockies.
Right. Rockies. Absolutely. Maybe somewhere in Alaska.
Yeah.
Certainly not on the East Coast.
At 6,288 feet above sea level, it makes it the highest peak in the northeastern United States. That's like saying I'm the smartest guy in the basement of my house.
Yeah. So, like, just to give you a reference, the highest peaks in the Rockies are, I think there's 6 14ers. So they're, I don't know what ranges they are. I believe it's 6, but it does go up to above 14,000 feet. That's in the Colorado alone. I think the highest mountain in America is Mount McKinley, which has been renamed. It's not Mount McKinley. It's Mount something.
Oh, they renamed it?
Yes, they renamed it because of that woke hole shit.
Oh.
And I think I want to say that's 22,000 feet.
And Everest is
like base camp of Everest is like 22,000 feet.
So it's like 28,000 feet.
I want to say 32.
Okay. That was another number that was stuck in my head. However, if you want to know about Mount Everest, go back and check out one of our former shows, and I'll try to remember to put the link below.
Dude,
we did Mount Everest, the dark side of Mount Everest.
I had a really good conversation with a guy at work the other day, and he just out of nowhere, he goes, if you knew that you would survive with all the risk taking, would you climb Mount Everest? And I said, no, I wouldn't. And he goes, why not? And I said, I don't like the way they treat Mount Everest. It's a mountain of poop, bodies, and oxygen tanks.
Yeah. It's
disgusting. And
that's what we covered in that podcast.
Yeah. It's like, there's no respect for the mountain. It's a very touristy place for rich people. And basically they said, if you're healthy and you can put one foot in front of the other, you can climb Mount Everest. Technically it is mountaineering speak. I guess technically it is the easiest mountain to climb. Not easy by any means, because if you get weather rolling in, you're fucked. Like tons of people have died up there. So I'm not saying it's like,
and their bodies are still there.
Yeah. It's just too hard to remove them.
Turn left at Green Boots.
But mountaineering, from a mountaineering aspect, which I'm not a mountaineer, I'm just regurgitating shit I've heard from, stuff I've seen, like K2, which is close to that mountain. There's multiples of mountains. They are superior in technical climbing abilities. I mean,
But everybody wants to peak the tallest.
the tallest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, how awesome would that be?
Yeah.
But I mean, I could. I know somebody who knows somebody, and they spent their life's money wanting to climb Mount Everest. They got to base camp, and they got sick, and they died in Nepal. They died from a pulmonary edema, which is something related with your heart due to high altitude.
Blood clot?
Blood clot. I think you're right. Some kind of just not good. And they died in Nepal. And then their family was struggling, whatever, to get them back to the States. And it's like, could you imagine that? Like, not only did your loved one die,
But they spent your life savings.
they died across seas, and now you're trying to ship them home. Like, what plane do you put a person who died in that country?
You certainly don't give them first class, give them coach.
I don't know. It's
Well, we talked a lot about that. We really, I think, went over the ledge on that one, because there's bodies up there, and some of these families will pay the Sherpas. Is it Sherpas?
Yeah, Sherpas.
They'll pay the Sherpas to go up and try to recover their loved one. So you're sending 6 guys up and putting their life on the line to recover a body of someone who went up there and died.
Yeah. I mean, do the Sherpas like the money? I'm sure.
Well, that's why they do it. It's their only means of income.
But I feel like it's just like a big tourist trap. It's like, I just don't like the way that mountain is treated.
No, I don't either.
It's
if you see the pictures that we posted on our video and podcast, it's disgusting, the trash that's up there. Like these people have these Sherpas drag all this stuff up there for them, and then they just dump it. Tents, oxygen tanks.
And then with that given, like they have no choice but to do that, because the conditions are so extreme, you can't afford to bring all your crap back down with you. But is that to say, like, should we keep doing this? But as long as there's money to be made,
people will do it.
People will do it. I think there was just some Swiss. I don't know. I'll say Swiss. I don't know what country she was from, but she just caught heat in the news because I don't know if it was Mount Everest, but she was climbing a mountain, and the person in front of her collapsed. It was like begging for help, and she stepped over him and kept going. So I'm like, well, yeah, that happens all the time.
Yeah.
Because they're like, I can't carry you. You don't come prepared. Fuck you. You're going to die. But as a human to human, like, how would you feel if you were doing that, Mike?
I'd be pissed.
Well, no, I'm saying if you...
I couldn't.
Could you do that? Could you walk over somebody without...
I don't think I could.
Would you take the high road and be like, I'm going to fucking take you down, maybe help rescue you, maybe you die together, but...
I don't think I could leave somebody that needed help.
Right.
Unless they were a douchebag. If they were a douchebag,
probably step on their face and keep going.
Nope, I would just walk over them.
So that's kind of what happened. And
you're a douche.
And I want to say that this guy that she stepped over was like a pretty integral part of the group, or not one of the groups that she went up in. And she's like, I don't care. I want to summit. Yeah. So that's on you, man. That's on when you got to, when all said and done,
you got to live with that.
You got to live with that.
I don't know. I would like to think that I would stop and help them.
Yeah. I would like to think that I would do the humane thing and die trying them rather than the summit.
But then again, I don't have a passion for climbing that mountain. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. So we're talking about,
yeah, what the hell are we talking about?
Mount Washington.
Oh, we were talking about Mount Everest.
And that's
what we were.
Well, I'm telling you, that's why that episode I thought was pretty good, because...
Dude, I love stuff about mountaineering and just climbing mountain. Like there are crazy people out. Like the one thing I watched, it was on Netflix or something. Or it was a couple Swiss guys or German guys, and they had a drone. And these guys are nuts, dude. They're camping out on like, you can't even believe it. I don't even know how to describe it, dude. And they're climbing with their hammer hook things, like you're doing like pull-ups, like there's nothing below them. The mountain cap goes around like this, and they're just young guys having the time of their life. You know,
not for me.
Yeah, no, I hate heights. I don't ever want to go skydiving.
I don't mind heights.
I hate heights
as long as there's no electricity there.
The older I've gotten, the more I hate heights.
So we're talking about Mount Washington, and it's despite it being so dangerous, climbers, hikers, tourists from around the world come there.
Sorry.
That's our smoke machine for
Halloween.
October. Yeah, it's our Halloween smoke machine. So Mount Everest. Mount Washington is infamous for having some of the most severe and unpredictable weather on the planet. Like when I say severe and unpredictable, it could be bright, sunny, shiny day on 1 minute, and 4 minutes later, it could be so foggy or snowing or cloudy or
like even in the summer.
Even in the summer. It's crazy.
Shit.
Like high winds gust regularly at hurricane force at 74 miles per hour. And in 1934, on the summit, the highest wind speed ever recorded on Earth was recorded on this mountain, 231 miles per hour.
Could you imagine hiking up there and all of a sudden it's 231 mile an hour winds?
That's crazy.
Like you have a tent gone. You have a soul gone.
Fog and low visibility. Thick fog can cover the entire mountain, reducing visibility near zero. And now I've seen this on the water where you go into a fog cloud and you can't see shit. I can't imagine, like what I was reading is you could be walking along, hit that fog, and you can't even see your feet.
Yeah. And then what happens is I think a lot of people panic, from what I understand and read. A lot of people panic and they'll get lost, either fall off a cliff, you're done, or they'll go somewhere where it's there's multiple cases of there's like a cabin on the top of the mountain for refuge, and people are like within earshot of it, and the storm rolls in and they die right there, or they get lost and they get away from it, and it's like you were 100 feet, 100 yards from this thing. And you know, and not something to be, you don't want to tempt fate, man. This mountain will whoop your ass.
There's a reason why it's so much like that, why the weather so rapidly changes, and I have it listed below. But some of the other things you got to worry about is rapid temperature shifts. Temps can shift to life-threatening levels even during the summer.
Yeah.
And the wind chill factor even exacerbates the danger.
So you think you're going out, wow, it's summertime.
Yeah. T-shirt and shorts.
T-shirt and shorts, I'll be fine. And then boom. Now you're in Arctic conditions.
Now you're a dixicle. Snow and ice persist on the mountain year round.
I didn't know that.
Yes. The extreme weather is caused by several factors. Of course, the elevation plays a role. The geography, where the mountain actually is, it's situated in a convergence of several weather systems. So you have like the moist Atlantic air here coming in, and then you have the cold Canadian air coming down, and they kind of meet each other right there. And it's like in a perpetual state of a weather system.
So it's like the pinpoint of where these two, like we always know that the prevailing winds and the Canadian Arctic Circle thing comes down to Pennsylvania, right? But it always kind of misses us because it goes up north. But yet there, it's like that's where its pinpoint is.
Yeah. So the temperature where we live can be, let's say, 32 degrees outside, and you go up to the Poconos or the lower part of New York, and the temperature will be like 3 degrees.
Yeah,
because it's just getting that
well,
cold air from Canada.
Not even here. Like when I lived further down south, I'm not going to say where, in Pennsylvania, and all you northern guys are coming, dude, it fucking snowed on the mountain. Like we wouldn't get shit. And so it's always more snowy up here than, but yeah, I mean,
well, listen, like was it 2 years ago we were in Colorado hunting, and the one morning we woke up and there was a dusting of snow on the ground. I was excited like a little kid because I wanted to go take pictures of the snow on top of the mountains.
Sure.
And I went out and there was snow on top of the mountains, and it was the coolest thing ever. Now, you told me your dad was out the same spot this year, and what did he run into?
2 foot of snow.
2 foot of snow. Same exact time of the year.
I don't think he ever made it back up there.
That's
like he came down, but he's like, dude, he's like, I don't think my Jeep's going to make it back up there.
Yes.
And I don't think he did.
I doubt they plow that road we came down on.
No, I don't know.
Podcast Every Dog in the House. Coco Jean. So,
but that seems to be, this mountain seems to be more aggressive than the mountain out west.
Yeah.
Like I can assure you, like, yeah, you're going to expect like, okay, anything can happen at once. But, you know, if I go up in the mountain, that part of the mountain in Colorado, and it's warm, it's most likely going to be warm. I don't think the temperature swings and the veracity of storms meeting each other like this does is that prevalent out west.
And that's just one of the factors is the geography with that moist Atlantic air.
Yeah.
And then the cold Canadian. So the jet stream, it's very close to the polar jet stream and the high altitude, fast moving air currents.
Right.
It's like a convergence of everything you need to cause erratic weather. Like Deb and I were out on a motorcycle last weekend, and it was Thursday night. We drove down. We're driving back, and it's dark out, and we're rolling along, and you go through these pockets of cold air and these pockets of warmer air, and you hit those pockets of warm air, and it's like, wow, that's awesome. But you get those pockets of cold air, and it's like, whoa. And that's just driving through up 61.
Dude, that's the first thing. I've never been on a motorcycle, on the back of a motorcycle, before driving at night, and that's the first thing I noticed was the temperature different pockets. It was crazy, dude. You be getting on the and you think like it's warm, and then you hit a pocket of cold, like, whoa. And then it goes away, and then it's a pocket of cold, and like, it's so crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. So you have high winds due to the elevation. So the high winds cause a wind chill factor that you might not otherwise. But the high winds are caused by that air funneling up through the mountain, and as it rises, it accelerates and moves up the slopes. And regularly 74 miles per hour winds, sometimes exceeding 100 miles per hour, and obviously 231 miles per hour, the highest wind ever recorded on Earth.
Could you imagine that? You're out for a leisure stroll, and now you're in like hurricane force winds with snow.
Nope. So all these things can cause the rapid weather changes. It's not uncommon for sunny skies to change to extreme fog, heavy snow, and freezing rain in a matter of minutes. So there's a really technical term that, most people won't know, orographic lifts. I had no idea what it was when I saw it. The moist Atlantic air comes up the slopes, cools, condenses. You get heavy precipitation and cloud formation. Ice and snow is persistent year-round because of this. So any time of year you go up there, it could be snow. So all these factors make Mount Washington extremely treacherous for hikers and climbers. Compared to Mount Everest, it presents a different set of deadly challenges. Like Everest, most of your challenges are oxygen deprivation because you're so high.
Now, there are storms that fly into
Yeah.
Everest that
Yes.
are most certainly deadly. But like I said, I think
they're more predictable there than they are here.
I think the Mount Washington is more persistent.
Yes.
It's like, it's a convergence. Boom, it's going to come here and here. So when you get this and this, it's going to be nasty.
Yeah, it's crazy. So it is said, now this is an unverified claim, Mount Washington has more fatalities per vertical foot than any other mountain in the world, which I find amazing. So according to my calculation,
well, that kind of makes sense.
Up to last year, 2022.
Because you don't have I don't want to say you don't have technical hikers going up Mount Washington. I'm sure you do, but I'm sure there's like a lot of people that take for granted. I'm on the, what is this, Mount Everest? Let's hike up here with I'm experienced and you're fucked.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks to get caught in that. Thankfully, I never did. So when I was looking for how many deaths were on this mountain, it kept on giving me the numbers for the presidential range. So in the White Mountains in New Hampshire, there are all these peaks that they call it presidential range. Mount Washington's one of them, and it's the highest. But there's 3 Mount Adams peaks. There's Madison. There was a whole shitload. And I was going to name them all, but it just kept going on. And I'm like, I'm worried about Mount Washington. But if you look at the deaths on the mountain, I would say 95% of them were on Mount Washington. 167 people have died on what's known as the presidential range, the majority on Mount Washington. The New Hampshire Fish and Game Commission conducts an average of 200 rescues a year for hikers in need of assistance.
Like I watched, because what brought this conversation up was with a couple guys going on this trip up there, and they were talking about that train ride, the cog that goes up. It's like a 1 train steam ride going up the mountain. You can also drive up the mountain too, but the cog ride is a train ride and goes up to the top.
Steam or biodiesel? There's 2 trains.
I don't know.
No, it is. It's steam and biodiesel.
But, okay.
I have it in here then.
So as I was watching this video, the guy went on, he's like hiking up the mountain and he's watching cogs go by. And there's rock piles that show the cog that crashed, lost its brakes coming back down, crashed, 11 people died. And then he listed, I don't know where he got the list from, but it was a list, maybe from Wikipedia. And it's like,
there is a list on Wikipedia.
What mountain, how they died. Like a lot of people, heart attack, froze to death, avalanche, a lot of shit. And it's like, holy fuck, dude. Like
that list is on Wikipedia.
Like, you want to get tested, man. Like, go to this mountain.
Yeah. So before we go on, we're going to take another quick break, and we will be back in a moment after this message. I want to talk about Copper John's. Beard care.
Oh, yes, sir. I bought the...
I know, that's why I wanted to do this, because I know you bought the soap.
I don't remember what the name of the soap was. You kind of caught me off guard. It was something coastal or whatever, and it lasts forever, and I love it. I was so clean, my face wasn't breaking out, and then I just felt squeaky clean when I was done with it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't feel like greasy, and you can use it. I used it on my hair, face, whatever. And then when I got out of the shower, I usually don't have to shave because these little pubes don't grow too fast.
10-4.
But
I got to shave every day.
I did buy the beard butter, and I put that on, and the fringe is like it's more controlled. And then when I'm done with wiping it on my beard, I just rub it in my hair, and I'm good to go. And I smell fucking amazing.
I also, after you said you love the soap, I bought some soap. I got cherry something.
Oh yeah, you did say the cherry one smells amazing.
Fucking smells amazing. When I got the package and I would squeeze the package and air would come out of the package.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my god, that's so good.
Yeah,
And then I got the lime basil.
I would surmise probably anything they sell smells amazing.
Yeah.
And it's all natural stuff.
And I use the beard butter. Now, we bought this stuff. Like,
well, but hold on, back up. I'm so impatient.
Somebody was impatient.
I bought the stuff even though somebody has a discount code.
And that discount code is going to be right up top here.
And I didn't remember what it was. And I texted him and he didn't get back to me. And I was like, yeah, screw it. I'm going to buy it. So I paid full price for it, which is fine. I don't mind donating or spending money on a good product. And what I got was a awesome product.
Now, I have said this before. Everybody has their favorite beard and soap and whatnot. I was using Duke Cannon soaps and I like them.
See, I did not like them.
I did.
I didn't like them.
Oh, too bad for you.
I didn't think the smell did not, it wasn't strong.
And it didn't stay.
Yeah,
like, it didn't hold. But the Copper Johns, the scent stays with you.
It stays.
So everybody has their favorite. We like these. We bought these. We're using these. If you have a beard or
pube hairs
on your face, and or you're looking for a decent soap to use, check them out. And you could check them out and get the discount.
And listen, I'm a big guy, and I got to shower regularly, and sometimes the stuff you get at the store just does not do the trick. You stink after you shower, and this stuff, I guarantee you will not smell after you will smell great after you shower.
Truth. So check out Copper Johns. I have a direct link for the discount in the description, and I have the discount code above us if you just want to go to their website and check it out. And we're back, and we were just discussing.
Disgusting? We were very disgusting.
We were very disgusting. It was horrible. We were discussing what a good topic picker John is, because I told him when I was researching this, I really kind of got into it.
Not a nose picker. I'm a good nose picker too, but topic picker, I think I'm a little better.
I when you first said this, I was thinking there's not going to be much on a freaking mountain, dude. And there's a bunch of good stuff here that we had to get to yet. So let's move on.
Okay, let's move on.
So the deaths that have occurred on Mount Washington over the year primarily due to the hazardous conditions caused by the weather, and us underestimating the mountain's dangers.
I think that's number one.
Yeah, with it, we were just reading the sign that's on the trail, the one that you had mentioned before, and
yeah, what is it?
Like,
blow it up. Let's read it verbatim. It's a big yellow sign. It says "Stop," underlined, big, capital letters.
It's stop. The area has the worst weather in America. Many have died there from exposure, even in the summer. Turn back now if the weather is bad. White Mountain National Forest. I'm going to see if I get a picture of that sign and put it up right here.
And not only that, I'll add, there are probably moose up there, black bear.
And we both know that moose are nasty.
I think moose have more deaths contributed to humans than bears do. Just because they're way more prevalent, and people are like, oh, it's just a moose. so cute. And then it runs your ass over and stomps you into the ground.
So we were just looking over that list of how people died and where they died. And my research says that, they succumb to hypothermia, frostbite, exhaustion, disorientation, and often, which is often exacerbated by extreme weather. But we have several drownings. On
that is.
How do you drown on a mountain?
Okay.
Okay.
There must be some kind of lake there, but I don't think
no,
there
they're
is.
just streams and rivers coming down, I would assume.
Oh, so you go down to the stream and collapse of exhaustion.
It could be.
Bloop, right in the water.
Several plane crashes. The cog train has had a bunch of crashes.
So explain to them what the cog. I think we did, but
we're going to get to it because I have it in the research.
Okay, all right.
So it's good that you mentioned it because it's coming up. But basically, people weren't prepared. They made poor decisions and didn't have the necessary skills or equipment. Now, the very last thing I have in my research is if you're going to go here, this is how you prepare. So at the very end, we'll go over that.
All right.
If you plan on making this visit, make sure you're prepared properly. The high number of deaths has led to various safety measures and initiatives to educate visitors about the risk and precautions necessary while exploring the mountain. So I wanted to know who was the first person to die on this mountain.
Now, did we decide that, or did you look? This is the presidential mountain. Is this the? Like, I don't know. I don't know what the distinction is. I always thought that this range was the same mountain range, the Appalachian Trail.
I didn't. While we were taking a break, I didn't look, but the presidential range is the White Mountains, but I know the Appalachian Trail goes through it. I know that for a fact. So are these Appalachian Mountains? I don't know.
I thought it was all the same mountain range.
I'm assuming it is. I don't know. The first recorded death on Mount Washington was that of Frederick Strickland. He was a British consul from Montreal, Canada. He died in August of 1849 while he was trying to take the summit. He and his guide, Thomas Cole, set out to reach the summit, but somehow they encountered severe conditions, including heavy fog and snow. Despite the bad conditions, they pressed on and ultimately perished on the mountain. So bad decision making.
Right.
Like, okay, it's too ugly to go on. Let's stop.
Dude, I don't know. If you're that point, you're probably fucked. No matter up or down, you're not knowing where you're going. So unless you hunker down, you have
to say shelter in place, dude.
If you don't have the proper equipment to shelter in place in 290 mile an hour winds, you're screwed. You know what I mean?
So I asked this with Mount Everest. I'm going to ask it here. If it's so dangerous, why the fuck do people keep going there?
It's the prestige, dude. It's like, why do people fucking jump out of planes and skydive? Why are they're just high energy people? Like, why are there special forces guys that will do life threatening things, jump into combat, or just things? That's what people do. Like, they're engineered to do that kind of thing.
So when I do this research, I ask myself sometimes some questions, like, and I ask this question: well, why the fuck would you keep going there if you know so many people died there? Is the risk part of the thrill? Is it just a stunning beauty? Some of the attractions, but
it's all three.
You're right, and because when I started looking at this, I looked at the pictures. I got pictures for each one of these places that are on here, and I'm going to throw them up as we're talking about them because some of these places are just so freaking beautiful.
I'm sure, yeah, absolutely,
like, absolutely beautiful. Even the first one is the Mount Washington Auto Road. Even that's beautiful.
Yeah, which is still open to today. You can drive up.
And you could drive to the summit.
Dude, that fucking drive. It looks hairy as hell.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, there's just like cliffs on either side of you.
But you can get to the summit that way.
Yeah. And there's no falter. If you mess up, you're done.
Yeah, pretty much so.
You're done.
So the Cog Railway, or also called the Cog, I don't know if you knew this. It was one of the first cog. It was the first cog railway in the world.
Just to tell you what does the cog mean?
So a regular train has power to the wheels, the outside wheels, and they go along the tracks. And due to the weight of the train on the tracks, it moves it forward, just like a car on the road. Power to the wheels moves you forward. The cog railway has like basically a ratcheting. There's teeth on the tracks in the center, and there's a wheel with teeth on it under the train, and that grabs that and it pulls it up. So if one of those cogs slips or breaks, that's what causes those accidents.
Okay.
From metal stress. The average incline is 25% grade. The max incline on this is 37%.
So you think what?
I mean,
That's pretty damn steep, man.
It has both steam and biodiesel locomotives, powered locomotives on it. I would, if I went there, if I didn't get on a steam locomotive, I'd be pissed because that's just cool as shit.
Hell yeah. But then again, I was, from being a steam kind of guy, I like how much, like, I'm sure they've known from years of going up there, like, you know, you're gonna have to have a boiler. Okay. Yep. So what if you ran out of steam halfway up?
Then you either come all the way down fast, or you're locked at halfway up. There is the Tuckerman Ravine, which is a glacial cirque, which like is kind of a large swale.
So it's glaciatic stuff going on there.
There was the glaciers are no longer there, but this cirque was formed by a glacier coming down. Stunning. Well, we talked about this. Did we talk about it off camera or on camera about the age of the mountains? We
talked about that off camera.
Okay, so why don't we hit that again, because I'm amazed by that, honestly.
Okay, so I wanted to know the prestige and mystique behind the Appalachian Mountain Trail. So when we looked it up, the Appalachian Mountains are the oldest mountains in the world. Okay, so they surmised that at one point in time they were as high, if not higher, than the Rockies and the Himalayas. Okay, so to put into perspective, the Appalachian Mountains are, I believe, 480 million years, and the Rocky Mountains, whatever it is, it's the Rocky Mountains are 400 less. Help me out here, Mike.
You're acting like I listened to you when you talk.
No, hold on. I'm sorry. Let me go back. I'm going to cut that out. So the Appalachian Trail is, say, 400 million years old, and the Rocky Mountains are 8 million years old. So there's a 400 million year gap of how much older our mountains are than the West Coast mountains.
And that's amazing.
Does that not blow your mind?
Because you're living now, you look at the Rocky, like I know when we went out to Colorado and we did our hunt, I was freaking amazed by those mountains.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, and I've always said this, like I go other places and I see these mountains. Even when I was flying over Alaska and looking at the mountains there, I'm like, oh,
they're young.
The mountains in Pennsylvania are so tiny compared to these.
But they weren't at one point.
Right. And that's amazing.
They were 400 million years older than any mountain range in the world, give or take. Even the Himalayas, they were once as big, or if not bigger, than that mountain range.
Wow. That's just amazing.
I can't even, right here where we live.
We're on the side of a mountain.
We're on the fucking side of a mountain. Like these mountains, they would have been protruding. We would have been in the mountains in the Rockies.
Because honestly, the Appalachian Trail is
in Georgia,
3 miles from here.
Yeah, or 3 miles from here.
Yeah,
and it runs the whole pretty
Yes.
much all length of the East Coast,
So those would have to be Appalachian Mountains up there because
or a part of them.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I just think that's amazing. That when you said that, I'm like, what? Because you told me that once before, and I looked into it because I thought you're bullshitting.
No, it's fact, dude.
And it is. It is fact.
That is fact.
Research confirms what Johnny said. So the Tuckerton Ravine, we just covered that. Mount Washington Observatory, and it's located on the summit, and it's the primary weather station in the region. Let's see. Extreme weather actually draws people here because you have people who are like weather enthusiasts, storm chasers.
Oh yeah.
Or people who are photographers that want to get that beautiful picture of a lightning storm or a snowstorm or whatever from afar or up close. Backcountry snowboarding and skiing is huge, especially on that Tuckerman Ravine. The Alpine Garden Trail. It offers beauty and unique plant species. And the picture is going to be up here. And this is just one part of it. But I saw this picture and I stopped and stared at it for 10 minutes. Like, it is freaking beautiful. And all it is a little creek, like with river stone in it.
Sure.
And it's just beautiful.
Get your mind off all the hubbub of like the fast paced city life. Like, not that we live in the city, but
well, it's kind of like why I like going out in the woods hunting.
Yeah.
I don't have to shoot anything. I don't.
Right. And we've said this.
I love
time and time before.
Yeah.
Even when you went to Colorado with me, it's like, dude, even if we don't, shoot anything, just the fact of being in that fucking nature and seeing the mountains and just, being a part of it is.
I loved getting up every morning, getting in that truck and going to look at those mountains. I freaking loved it, dude. Like,
when are we going to do it again?
As soon as we can both afford it. There are historic sites there that draw people too. So Tip Top House is the oldest surviving structure on Mount Washington. It was built in 1853 as a hotel. And a lot of these spots used to be hotels. Crawford Path was established in 1819. And it's one of the oldest hiking trails in the United States. People back then had time to hike. Oh, frick. Get to work. The Cog Railway Base Station opened in 1869, where the history of the railway and its role in transporting to the summit can be found. Now, I have a picture of that, and just seeing that at the base of the mountain starting going up, it's amazing. Amazing picture.
Yeah, for sure.
Sherman Adams Building houses a museum and a visitor center. Now, I think the Sherman Adams Building is also where the observatory is.
Do they have any B&Bs up there or what?
There is, when I get to the Glen House site, which is a couple away, there was a historic hotel there. It's at the base of the mountain. There is a Glen House hotel built there now. Beautiful luxury looking place.
No, I mean on the summit.
No.
Oh God, could you imagine? How awesome would that be?
There is where is it? The Hermit Lake Shelter. It's located near the Tuckerman Ravine.
But you think about that.
It's a shelter that's still there, and it's meant for refuge for hikers and climbers.
Like, you have everything there, as long as you as well as you do here in Pennsylvania. Like that whole East Coast corridor, fishing, hiking, camping, mountains, with the exception of the ocean. What more could you ask for?
The ocean.
Well, then you have to go a little bit west or east.
Let's see. The Halfway House site was a historic hotel and restaurant on the Auto Road. The Glen House site that stood at the base, the Hermit Shelter, and Glen Boulder, which is a large rock on the side of the mountain that was used as a reference point for early explorers and climbers.
And so, why did they call this Mount Washington?
With this whole mountain, all these this mountain range, all of them were named after presidents
I get that,
or
but
historic people.
so I guess this one being the biggest, tallest, most
Was Washington, yes,
was number one.
yeah, because there's a John Adams and there's a John Quincy Adams, and then there's another Adams. I don't know if it was.
I never knew that.
So if you are planning or visiting, hiking or climbing, be prepared.
Cue the sign right now.
Yeah, here's the sign: you will die. Those planning to hike or climb Mount Washington are advised to check weather forecasts, dress in layers, carry essential gear, including warm weather navigation tools and emergency supplies. Now, I would say this to anybody who goes in the woods.
Absolutely.
But I think people just say, oh, let's go to Mount Washington. You could drive to the top. Well, if you're driving to the top, you hit one of those weather systems, it starts snowing, and you get stuck in your car. What are you going to do?
I would say the same thing about, I know my dad's wife, we used to talk about, oh, East Coast men are way better at survival than West Coast men. She said, I know, I wouldn't say too much that, but she would say, guys out here, they're like retards. They're like, they go out into the woods and they don't bring anything with them. She just, but like the guys that are out on the East Coast, it's like they come prepared.
Dude, when we went up to the Rockies, what did I have with me?
You had a lot.
Vacuum sealed packs of soup.
Yeah.
With beans and stuff in it, that all I need to do is heat water and add to it and let it sit.
Well, we kind of went over the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like we emailed back and forth.
Yeah, we did. And your dad was a big help in that.
Yeah. And I was like, this is what I want you to have in your gear.
Yep.
For legit. Like it might sound stupid, but
a whistle.
But if it turns worse, you're gonna need this stuff.
And I took what he said very seriously. I had power bars. I had the soup. I had
not only that, you had
that liquid IV.
You had water filtration.
Yep.
Fire gear.
Yep.
A stainless steel container to procure water. All just like all the little things like that. But I can't even imagine going up here. Like even though you're prepared, you got all this shit. What the fuck is going to prepare you for 200-mile-an-hour winds?
Nothing.
Your tent is going to blow.
You're going to blow away.
Yeah, you're going to blow away in your tent halfway down the mountain.
Well, like when we were talking about Everest, some of those bodies were blown away by the wind there. And it wasn't as strong as the wind on this mountain.
Like I don't know if you ever been into 100-mile-an-hour winds, which is not even the high for this. It was even higher.
231.
200.
No.
Yeah.
I haven't. I'd be fine. I'm anchored. I'm rotund.
Mike, you be flying through the oh Lordy.
I'm just gonna hit the ground harder. So
I mean, it's just fucking.
But to me, that's all. That like if you're going in the woods, I always dress in layers. I always have. I always check the weather forecast because I'm a fair weather hunter. I always have warm, even in my car, dude. In case I ever get stuck in my car, I always keep water in my car. I always have some kind of food in my car. I always have extra clothes in my car.
some old like Arby's sandwich.
Yeah.
Ah, Lordy.
Oh my God, there's a French fry. I'll eat that. I have, and that's besides the shovel, the rope, and the tarp, and the bag of lye that I keep in my car.
Bag of lye. Okay. Never mind.
I actually, there was a joke. One time I told someone that I keep a shovel, a tarp, and a rope in my car.
Crowbar.
And they're like, what the fuck? And I'm like, no, I always keep that stuff in my car in case you need it. What are you going to use that stuff for? Bury a body? I'm like, no, if I get stuck in the snow, I can lay the tarp on the ground, get down and shovel out under the tires. And if I need to, I have a rope to use to winch the car out if another car comes along. And they're like, oh, it sounded like you were burying a body.
What about the lime?
Well, that's a joke. That's the joke part.
I have in the back of my Jeep ratchet straps. I have flares because the last time I was going to work, I came across a huge accident. Dude was in the middle of the fucking road. He was missing the front half of his car. I pulled over. There was nobody on the road. Pitch black. I pulled up. I'm pretty sure I told you this story. And so what I've learned from that was get some flares because people are going to smash into the back of you if they don't see them flares behind you.
I have those emergency lights. The flashy ones.
I got a knife. I got fire starting equipment. I don't have water, but I have shit to procure water.
Knife and gun are always without being said to me.
Yeah. So, I mean, when are we going to go hike this mountain?
And I've told my son and my daughter, I don't know if she does it because she doesn't always listen, but I've told them to keep clothes, food, and water in your car at all times. Because how many times has 78 gotten shut down? People were stuck on 78 for 3 days to one time.
Yeah. There's nothing like a fresh pair of socks and dry clothes.
I have my insulated bibs in there.
I mean, that makes a world of difference.
And yes, my trunk's a mess from all this shit, but I don't freaking care.
You want to keep at least 4 or 5 Four Locos in your center console for
to keep you warm. So Mount Washington Observatory and local authorities regularly issue safety advisories and provide information to help visitors stay safe. The mountain's treacherous conditions require a high level of preparedness, respect for nature, making it essential for individuals to be well trained and equipped for their adventures. Look, just if you're going anywhere, just be ready for what could happen, and then be ready for some of the stuff that you never think would happen.
Well, dude, prepare for the worst. Except, what do they say? Prepare for the worst, expect the best.
Hope for the best.
Hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
Yes.
That's it. That's what it is.
And that's truth. So that is Mount Washington.
I want to go.
I think I was there when I was a kid. I think that was one of the places our mothers made sure we went. Like we went up to Maine. I think we stopped at Mount Washington on the way.
I never went up to Maine.
Oh, me and Deb went up camping in Maine. It was freaking beautiful. And then we went to Maine with some friends a few years ago. What was it? Orange. What was it? I forget the place. Anyway, we're right south of Portland. And then we went to Portland, and like micro distilleries weren't really a thing then. And I saw my first micro distillery up there. I visited every microbrewery in Portland, Maine. And Deb got so mad because she took the kids to the Please Touch Museum. And I was just I was walking around town all day.
It's okay.
Drinking beer. And then I couldn't drive back to our hotel. So she not only had to deal with the kids all day, she had to drive back to the hotel in the dark.
Yep, I think that's what any man would do.
But the beer was good. So that is it for this. We took on Mount Washington. If you plan to take it on, go prepared. Go prepared. And
I suggest you go watch a lot of survival
it wouldn't hurt.
Podcasts and get your shit together.
It wouldn't hurt. You guys go take on the world.
This podcast is part of the Deluxe Edition Network. To find other great shows on the network, head over to deluxeeditionnetwork.com. That's deluxeeditionnetwork.com.
Hold on, stop.
Welcome back to the Shit Show 2.0.
Okay, boomer.
Damn millennials. Wow.
Did not know that. Even flirters who are obviously mentally ill. You want to be my wife?
Oh, this is gonna go downhill real quick.